What's going on, Pizza Fam? Listen, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to make a quick shout out to Thrive POS. They've recently partnered with the podcast and they bring an exclusive offer for our listeners. Listen, Thrive POS is not just a POS system. It was built for operators just like us. It's fast, it's reliable, and most importantly, it helps us focus on what matters: our pizza, our people, and our profits. Check out the exclusive offer from Thrive POS at thrivepos.com/Pizza King, or just click the link in the description. Now let's get into the episode. We're growing. Our sales are growing. Our reach is growing. Our exposure is growing. Our daily routines and our expectations are growing. And that comes through stretching our abilities as a team. And that is rarely ever comfortable, right? And we try to make it as fun and engaging and as collaborative as possible. But you also have to be mindful as a leader, have to be mindful of the fact that when you stretch people, they become uncomfortable. And what's going on, Pizza Fam? Welcome back to the Pizza King podcast. I'm your host, Tyrell Reed. And if you miss my face, I'm sorry, but your boy had to take a break. If you miss my voice, I'm sorry. Your boy had to take a break. And that should be the whole tip for today. Take a break when you need to take a break, because I needed to take a break just from, running and growing and doing things in the store, trying to make sure we're on top of our game with the podcast and all the content that comes as a result of that. And before I reached the point of burnout, I just needed to take a step back and say, hey, look, it's going to be okay if we don't get an episode out this week. We have episodes. We have stuff, already recorded, but it was all right. The world didn't end, and we are back here together for a Takeout Tip. Quick reminder, we moved to Thursday to give you a better chance to get that tip in before the weekend. That's going to be our goal every single week. We're going to have a guest every Tuesday, and then every Thursday you get my voice solo here giving you these tips. And really, right now, everything we've been talking about it's just been about progress in the store, just showing you and teaching you and talking through what we're doing in hopes that it helps you do what you need to do better in your restaurant, in your pizzeria. So with that being said, man, we'll just jump right into it this week. And it's been a couple of weeks since we gave update. I think the last one was on how we finished the first month, which was profitable, but not like great profit, but we made a little bit of money. We didn't lose money. We made some progress in the way of sales. Month 2 has been interesting. This is our first month really getting into our 6-day schedule. We've been open 7 days. We've since changed to a 6-day schedule, closed on Mondays, really making sure we needed to close the gap and pick up those sales that we were going to miss, potentially miss, you know what I mean? Our goal for that was to get an extra 4 orders per day for the 6 days that we were open, to make up for the Monday that we were lacking, which was our slowest day of the week. Extra 4 orders a day. I think we're doing pretty good as far as that goes. Starting with people, listen, things are changing, right? And when it comes to growing something like this and trying to get the best that you can out of your situation, out of your business, there's going to be some growing pains that comes along with that. So we're growing. Our sales are growing. Our reach is growing. Our exposure is growing. Our daily routines and our expectations are growing. And that comes through stretching our abilities as a team. And that is rarely ever comfortable, right? And we try to make it as fun and engaging and as collaborative as possible. But you also have to be mindful as a leader, have to be mindful of the fact that when you stretch people, they become uncomfortable. The way I explained it to the team this week was it's like a rubber band ball. Rubber band balls are a bunch of rubber bands that are holding the ball together. And, the more you add to it, the more it grows. But the more it grows, the more you have to stretch, right? The bigger the ball gets, the more the rubber band has to stretch in order to continue to wrap around it. So that's what we are. We're growing our rubber band ball and we're stretching, and every single thing that we add is going to continue to grow us or stretch us a little bit. And as we create this ball of business that we're taking care of. And it's a fun process, but it's not painless. I don't want to say it's a painful process, but it is certainly not a painless process. So with that being said, just being mindful of that and making sure that we have conversations with our team on, where we're headed, what we're working on. Just like, we're following our 12, 14 week plan. I'll give you some updates there. We're actually a couple of weeks behind just because we really got caught up in the phase where we're at. So, but that's okay because plans are meant to, change and we make adjustments from a sales standpoint. And I like the fact that we've been, being transparent. We've been continuously, staying transparent on sales and profit because I want folks to make sure that you can understand that you can make some money doing this. Is it great money? No, it's not. No, we're not going to be millionaires, doing this our first year, but we can run a profitable business. We can track our numbers daily, weekly, monthly, and we can make adjustments based on, what those numbers and signals are telling us. So we know that we finished month one, up a few $100s in profit. Feels good. We had some negative weeks there in the beginning. I'm very proud now that we've run in the black here for 4 weeks, 5 weeks in a row. So that to me is encouraging given where the business is. There's still some up and down in there, but we're doing a great job at just controlling what we can control. The last 3 weeks, which is where we are with an update, is February, getting into month two, week ending 2/8, we did uh 85, 99, 51, $8,600 in sales. Profit was 7.3%, $625.93. That's almost, we did over $600 in profit that week. That's good for us. Second week, $8,800, 88.30.25, 3.5% profit, $302. This past week, $8,900, 89.14, solid week of profit, almost 13%, 12.9%, $1,147.86 in profit, for a total net profit month to date in February of $2,076.19. So we're already up a couple $1,000 just from tightening the screws and making some small changes. If you're keeping up with us from year to date, that's 35, almost $3,419 of profit in the first 7 weeks. And I am very happy with that because it shows that we understand our break even. We're listening to the signals. We're putting the right offers out there and we're continuing to test things and we want to continue to grow. Sales have been, growing literally week to week, even with taking away a day, where we're continuously doing more sales than what we were doing at the beginning of month one. So I'm just ecstatic at the progress that the team is making. We had a big catering in there one of those weeks, which it was funny because it was a slow week, but because we ended up with a really big catering, it balanced everything out at things. And that's just how things start to work. And Andy's like, man, thank God we had that catering. I'm like, it doesn't matter where it comes from. We're just making sure that it's coming. And we'll continue to stack weeks and stack wins. It was, that's how we build these consistent trends. So I'm very happy with that. What are we doing? We're focusing on our existing customers and our loyalty members. We have 1,025 on our email list, and we want to continue to grow that. So we're sending out deals, we're sending out offers. We made some slight changes to the loyalty program where it starts to reward, repeat business. And the way the program was set up wasn't bad, but it just felt like it was rewarding the wrong things. Like it was rewarding people for not ordering. And, it's good to have that, that lost customer, system and automation set up where if you don't order for 30 days, it sends you a deal. You don't order for 60 days, it sends you a deal. That's great. But there wasn't really many rewards for the folks that were ordering consistently, unless you hit that. We had our congratulations reward at 100 points, which sent you a free pizza. We wanted to encourage something a little bit more aggressive and we wanted quicker returns. So I instituted just straight cash rewards. So instead of getting a free pizza at 100 points, you get $10 and you can use that towards anything. And what changed was I talked to a customer and he was there. He's ordering Philly cheesesteak with a coworker. And I'm like, hey, you got a free pizza. on your account? He goes, yeah, I don't really eat the pizza here. I go to a different place, which is fine. It's cool. I don't really eat the pizza here, but I love your Phillies. I'm like, so you just let these rewards expire? He goes, yeah, I don't really use it. I'm like, why don't you just order it and give it to somebody? He's like, I guess I could do that, but it's all good. So I gave him a deal on this feeling. I'm like, man, we have to fix that because we have people that come to us for different reasons and we want to give them, the equal opportunity for rewards. It shouldn't just be a free pizza. So we decided to go with cash rewards. But to also encourage folks to come back a little bit quicker, we set a midway point. So at 50 points or $50 spent at 50 points, you get a $5 reward. So you get $5 at 50 points, you get $10 at 100 points. And then at the 200 point tier, if you reach that point, there's an extra bonus $5 reward. So 25 at 200 points. So we just want to reward customers and allow them to be more flexible on how they redeem and use those rewards. So that just started this week, hoping that we see some progress there. But it's all in those efforts of bringing people back, you know, for more visits. Goodness, just like I don't know, it's like the trash guy or construction or something going outside the dogs going crazy. But anyways, we want to continue to give people more reasons to come back sooner. We want to, provide more value for all of our guests equally. So that's the way we decided to go with our program. And of course, I'll let you know how that's going. We are still sending emails and text messages at a pretty high rate now. At this point, I'm sending in emails just about every day with a daily deal, email that, whatever we're running for that shift or for that day. And we're sending text on the weekends if we're doing, bigger deals. So that's doing well. Really want to start getting into just testing, times a day sends and things like that so that we can fully optimize that process and that program. Very happy with that. Excuse me. Our focus operationally has been on really stuck at week 5, even though we're into week 8 now. We're starting week 8, even though we're at week 8 and we should be talking about stewardship and leadership which is where the program leads us. Where we are in reality is still in week 5 as we work through really shoring up the product compliance and our specs and our prep processes. We needed to spend some extra time there. And I think I mentioned it before that all of the guys on our team have experience in different pizzerias and different other West Shores too, and even some that have been with me. And because we all have experience, we're all coming from a different perspective and we all do things just a little bit different. So we wanted to find the best ways to do things and really let that become our practice and our process. Not saying what the way I do it is best or the way Andy does it is best or how Nick does it is best, but let's talk through it. And there's only so many touch points where we're all there and it's better when we work together. So Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays is where we get to do that. We've been slowly fixing things one at a time. It actually started with seeing somebody make one of our buffalo chicken pizzas and he used the chicken cutlet instead of the breaded chicken pieces that we use for that. And, the thought is, hey, chicken is chicken, but it's not. One is seasoned totally different than the other one. They're portioned differently. They cost different. We needed to really make sure that we shored up the specs so that we're not leaving things up to interpretation. So as we build that out, we're making the adjustments in the prep and the spec book. We had kind of like a little internal thing on dope. So we really shored up everything in the prep and spec book so that we can set those recipes and those specs in stone, get them printed and put it on the wall, make a poster for all of those things. So that's where we are in that process. And, we'll spend as many weeks as we need to spend there. And on the management side, we're still working through just, tracking the financials week to week. We had a really good week when it comes to food and labor this week. I think we were like 57% prime cost, one of our best weeks. And it showed because we ran almost 13% profit when we keep those things in line. We really got our labor targets dialed in. We're really shooting for that 12 to 14%. The way it's scheduled now, it's right at 14% on the hourly side. So as long as we do well there, then we can really control our profit. The food is doing well. Really looking down the line at some menu changes to help the food spend and the food cost and help try to eliminate some waste. don't kill me for this, but I am strongly considering just taking salads off the menu. And that would require approval from the franchisor, but um, from a sales and profit standpoint and a waste standpoint, to me, it just makes a whole lot of sense. So we'll see what we can do there. More to come in that regard. But other than that, everything is great. Got my break, got some rest in, got some really good things coming up here for the Pizza King community. I just started an account on school, so we'll have like a school community going. Please stay tuned for that. We're 2 weeks away from speaking in New York City at the Javits Center at the New York Restaurant Show. So please come on out if you're in the area. Come see us there. We'll also be at Pizza Expo at the end of March in Las Vegas. So make sure you come spend some time with me there. I'll be recording somewhere on the show floor. Look for me and come say hi to me. And other than that, man, we're just going to keep spinning them. That's all we got for this week. Holler at your boy. We'll see you next time on Pizza King Podcast. Thank you. If you've gotten any value out of this episode or any of our other episodes, I need you to do me a favor. Go leave us a review. Every review on Apple, every 5-star rating on Spotify helps this show find more operators just like you and helps them get that same value that you're taking away from this episode. And as a thank you, anytime somebody leaves a review, sends me a screenshot, just DM me a screenshot of your review, I'm going to send you a free gift, something awesome, something cool. I'll send you a gift, whoever leaves a review. That's the challenge. Go leave a review, DM me a screenshot of it, and then I'll get you something. I got you something special from your boy. Now let's get back into the episode. Peace.